All right, guys, we're going to talk about the cube of Saturn, but first I'm going to blow your mind again. So this is what our Earth looks like. It's flat and it's round. Our outside, it's an ice wall. So yes, it's an ice wall right here too, because all that surrounds us is ice, because it's liquid oxygen, which is magnetic, which is blue, like the color of our sky, okay? And as I've shown you, the tip of Osiris's hat, here's the headdress of Osiris, the tip of it, with the depictions of him in Egypt in the underworld, he's missing the tip of his hat, okay? This is symbolized by the Bin stone, that is the tip of the obelisk, that represents the phallus of Osiris. Okay, we got that. So why the cube? We look at the tip of Saturn, and it is a hexagram. It's not a cube. It's a hexagram, right? Oh, but remember I said this mountain, this Rupes Nigra, the mountain that's plugging this hole, is like this, is why it looks like a mountain. Well, that hexagram on Saturn is a cube. Got it? Now, Osiris used to be a sun in our sky, too. We used to have two suns. These were the two lights in the sky, the greater and the lesser light in the first creation in Genesis chapter 1. When we get on to Genesis chapter 2, verse 4, it starts to go into the second creation of the demiurge, Yaldabaoth. Now, we can read ancient philosophers in Greece especially talked about how there used to be no moon in our sky. So if you look up NASA, what are the rings of Saturn? The rings of Saturn are created from two moons that collided into Saturn. So Osiris was a solar deity. Osiris was a sun. It was knocked out, boom, of our sky, and the moons that collided with it created the rings of Saturn. That's why we have the Titan moon as its main largest moon. This moon represents Kronos. Yes, the baby eater. So this Saturn cube worship has nothing to do with the actual planet. It has to do, one, with the rings, and it has to do, two, with the cube. So this hexagram on Saturn is a cube. This cube, boop, plucked up the whole of Mother Earth. Okay, this is a shaft. There we go. The black sun is like a sperm wanting to impregnate the other sun to create a pole flip, but they worship this cube of Saturn because this helps block and create this matrix that we live in, okay? So the rings of Saturn take the frequency. You can see the light coming out of Saturn. It still shines from within, kind of symbolic to the fig that blossoms within. It takes these frequencies of Osiris that we were meant to take in. It takes it shoots it to our moon. The moon distorts these frequencies, sends it to us, to our pineal gland, which is what makes us live in this holographic world that we live in, okay? The pineal gland is the eye of Horus. The eye of Horus is not a good thing, guys. What we want is the eye of Ra. Let me show you something else. So I've shown you that the Bin stone represents this cube that was knocked out of Saturn, which also represents the missing tip on the pyramids, which they've replaced with this right here, the eye of Horus. And I also shown you how the tarot was taken from Egypt, and the original star card with the dog star, the woman who's filling up the water with a pitcher of water was originally Isis, crying for when Osiris was unalived. She, if your husband was unalive like this, you'd be like, oh, I would do anything to see you again. So she made a deal with the moon god, Yah, which is Yahweh, and she made a deal to see her husband once more. And she went into the Nile River, and she had an immaculate conception with her husband, which is interesting, is there's no depiction in all of Egypt ever of a pregnant Osiris. There was a baby in a basket. This baby is who we call Horus, but I will tell you who this baby is Moses. I'm sorry for the blur, guys. This baby is Moses, not Horus. Remember Moses went in a basket in the Nile and was raised by a royal Egyptian family? Yes, this is where the deception occurred, was Moses. And now we have all the religions who follow the Torah, which is just stolen knowledge from the tarot, worshiping the lunar deity Yah, or Sin, the moon god of Mesopotamia, or Egypt, right? That's why they went up Mount Sinai through the wilderness of sin? Because this was the moon god. That's why he ordered them to start observing the lunar calendar. And another thing that they wanted him to do is to give the firstborn child. I don't know why nobody talks about that. And one more thing I would like to say. Gnostic Pope is a fraud. I would love for him to debate me. He blocked me. He's teaching nothing about Gnosis, the name Gnostic, and his name is totally deceptive because the Gnostics knew this. They knew about the God of the Old Testament. He's teaching you Freemasonry, guys. All right, I just wanted to add that in there. Bye.